Dang it. I really wanted to make my new house out of acacia wood, but there's no acacia around. Wait a second, can't you buy saplings from wandering traders? What the This is K-Lowe, where we talk about the parts of Minecraft nobody else does. And in order to convince you that these invis potion drinking, loud noise making base trespassers can manipulate the entire Minecraft economy to their advantage, I need to explain a few economic concepts and how wandering traders break them. But before we get into it, make sure you check if you're subscribed, because you could be watching all my videos thinking you're subscribed and not actually be subscribed. It happens more than you think. Now that that's out of the way, let's start by talking about one thing that wandering traders can completely destroy. Free markets. A free market is an economy built upon the idea that businesses should be able to compete with each other with no government intervention. In order to do that, free markets regulate themselves on two principles: supply and demand. The businesses own the supply and the consumers own the demand. In theory, the Goldilocks zone for maximum profit is to completely correlate supply with consumer demand. This ensures that prices stay low for consumers and profits stay high for businesses. Pretty simple. Most countries around the world have the basic idea of a free market in place, and it usually works to the benefit of everyone. In order to keep a free market stable, two things must be guaranteed. One, businesses actually want to keep their supply up with demand. That's a topic for another video. And two, the one that relates back to our wandering traders, demand goes down when prices go down. Because sure, when consumers have the choice of getting something, like an item or service that can be found in multiple businesses, there's definitely an upper limit to how much a consumer will pay for said item or service. But that's the key. They have to have a choice, a fair way of saying, no, I don't want that at that price, or no, I'll buy it from someone else. But what if there is no other option? What if that specific market is controlled by one business? What if that specific market is controlled by a monopoly? A monopoly is when a single business gains complete market share over every competing business. You may have heard this word tossed around before and not understand its true and very damning implications. Monopolies are extremely dangerous because without competition, there's no reason to care about Kakarot. Okay, monopolies are extremely dangerous because without competition, there's no reason to care about the consumer anymore. If an item or service is of decent demand, consumers have no other way of obtaining it. The business could charge whatever they want and still rake in record profits year after year. Monopolies don't play with the same rules as the mom and pop shop around the corner. They broke their free market, and the ones that pay for that are the consumers. But do you know what else is monopolized? Most of the animation industry, except for the sponsor of this video, Revival the Animated Series. Revival the Animated Series is a show based on Minecraft about a protagonist named K seeking revenge for the death of his friend. Currently, I'm working on an episode that I really hope knocks your socks off, even though the time slot for the Kickstarter has already closed, meaning that it wasn't a success. But that won't stop me from making the best show ever, so make sure you subscribe to Revival the Animated Series and watch all 3 episodes over there for free. Anyways, back to the video. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah, I was about to imply that wandering traders have a monopoly over resources that are not easily accessible to players. But how is that the case? In theory, there should be multiple wandering traders. There's no way they're all part of one mega corporation, right? Well, maybe they don't have to be. When talking about monopolies, people usually define it as a single circumstance, as in, this is the only way you can get complete control over any market. But in reality, it's a lot more complicated than that. Sure, being a monopoly might be the easiest way to get control over a specific market, but it's far from the only way. In a free market economy, businesses are supposed to compete against each other, but it's fair to acknowledge that nobody is forcing them to do that. Sometimes it's more monetarily beneficial for businesses to work together, especially if they have a common interest. Now, this isn't a real business term, but for the sake of argument, I'm going to present it as such. A common interest is something that 2 or more businesses want, but also get in the way of each other obtaining, like lowered lifespans of incandescent bulbs in the mid-1920s, or seeing your little brother still has 3 stocks in Smash when you and your older brother have only 1 because while you were fighting, he's been camping the whole time. Maybe Make no mistake, every business's main goal is to sell the cheapest item or service for the highest price. And the best way of doing that by far is to remove competition. If multiple businesses can mutually benefit from working together, they can stop innovating and still rake in record profits. Or get your little brother to rage quit Smash with a perfectly timed cuck and suck. This effectively is still a monopoly, just with multiple businesses instead of one, something called an oligopoly. But therein lies another problem. In order for wandering traders to do something like this, they would have to communicate with each other, right? No, actually, they wouldn't, and it's all because of the way that wandering traders structure their businesses. Wandering traders trade items that are sometimes impossible to access in the biome that they are trading in. This means that wandering traders might have a monopoly over an item in one biome, but not in another. Instead of thinking of wandering traders as competing businesses in one market, like McDonald's versus Wendy's, we should look at them as non-competing businesses in completely different markets, like Cinemark versus Bass Pro Shop.
Not even a competition, by the way. I'm catching a big one this week, damn it.
Without communicating with each other, wandering traders separate themselves into different markets to make the most amount of profit for their goods. It doesn't matter if there are tons of them. It doesn't even matter if the trader knows about the other's intentions or not. No matter what, a wandering trader still has a monopoly over their own market. And once you have that, you have control over everything. Wandering traders don't just break Minecraft's free market. They break everything we thought we knew about free markets. They are a critique of the very system that billions of real people live their whole lives under. I'm not suggesting that free markets are a bad thing. Far from it. I am suggesting that in order to have a truly free market, maybe we do need a government involved in the dealings of businesses. Because if they aren't, we could have ourselves our own wandering trader. Well, good thing we have so many intelligent government officials who would never let that happen.